19-year-old Nat Holland lives in Manchester with her mum. But she's about to leave home for the first time and move in with her boyfriend. She dreams of being a chef, but there's one thing holding her back. Nat lives on a diet of sausages. Burnt sausages.
Burnt but nice.
Unless Nat changes her ways, she can kiss her dreams and her health goodbye. Getting her to beat her addictions will be the job of clinical psychologist Stephen Byers and nutritionist Lisa Rayner. While Natalie will encourage Nat to try new foods,
give up.
It was furry.
Stephen will help steer a course through her psychologically stormy waters.
Can you cope? Can you cope with being here?
I'm just getting really scared.
Over the next 4 weeks, they'll try and reverse a lifetime of bad eating habits.
Oh, that's horrible.
Nat Holland is a 19-year-old from Manchester with a dream. She longs to open a restaurant serving traditional pub grub.
I love to cook. I adore cooking. I'd love to be a chef and like work in a big restaurant, in a big hotel somewhere.
The passion Natalie has for cooking, it's as good as that Gordon Ramsay as far as I'm concerned. The way she appreciates food.
The only problem for aspiring chef Nat is that she can't eat any of her culinary creations.
She'll say, you know, oh, that looks lovely and it smells gorgeous. She just won't taste it. And it's weird.
There's only one food that Nat can bear to eat, and that's burnt sausage.
Just back at me. It's a dangerous job burning sausage. I don't know why I like burnt sausage. I think it stems down to the fact that I know it's cooked. Every time I have sausages, I like that. I wouldn't have them any less done.
I mean, I like things well done, but not burnt. I mean, it must have an horrible taste, yet she seems to thrive on them. She just likes them.
The truth is, Nat's a sausage junkie, addicted to the cheapest sausages around. The only other food she can eat is instant mash, baked beans, chips and bread, but only by adding a generous portion of her beloved sausages, creating culinary masterpieces in the process.
It's nice to have Sunday lunch. I have my sausage mash and Yorkshire pud because it's similar, it looks similar. Same with pizza, I make my own pizza. People have like bacon and egg butties for breakfast, I'll have my sausage butty, so I look quite similar. Same with the potato bake and sausage, chips and beans. I can't justify that, I just like it.
One person who is struggling to come to terms with Nat's highly processed and unusual diet is boyfriend Darren.
Basically, it's not a healthy diet, so no vegetables, no fruit or anything like that. It's basically all the worst food you could eat is what Natalie eats.
Even the thought of putting new foods in her mouth is enough to put her into a panic.
If you give her some food, she won't put it in her mouth like most people will. She'll actually put it near her nose, sniff it, lick it, and then decide what it's like. And you can't really taste food like that.
Don't like that.
It's a bit like watching a monkey eat food, to be honest, picking things up and sniffing it and playing with it. I don't know, I've never seen anyone eat like that.
I always say to her, can't you just try it? And she says, Mum, I can't. And it does frustrate me because I think, well, why can't you?
I know it's normal for other people to eat, it's just that easy, but it's not for me. I think it's just panic. But it's pathetic really, because how can you panic over eating food? You panic over someone holding a gun to your head or something, you know, something serious. You don't panic over a plate of lettuce and cucumber.
Nat is determined to deal with her food phobia once and for all, as she's about to start a new life in Swindon with Darren, hundreds of miles away from friends and family.
The main thing is she wants to do something about it now, whereas before she hasn't bothered. But now, because she does see moving to Swindon as a new start, she's determined to do something about it.
I don't think people understand how much it would change my life, but it would so much. I'd just love to do it.
She really needs help now. It's not a case of sitting there, you must eat this. She needs some help, she really does.
Over the next 4 weeks, Nat will work with the experts to try and ditch the burnt bangers for good. It's day one, and Nat comes to London for her first meeting with the experts.
What we've got planned for Nat today are a couple of things that hopefully will give her a bit of a wake-up call to the potential damage that her diet is doing her and really motivate her to go forward with this process. Stephen. Hi, Nat.
Natalie. Hi, I'm Natalie too. Nice to meet you.
Natalie and Stephen have a surprise in store for Nat, which they hope will help get her into the right frame of mind before the hard work begins.
In attempting to change your diet in just a few weeks, you're setting yourself quite a difficult challenge. For you to stand any chance of achieving that, we need you in as motivated a state as we can possibly get you. Okay. What we've got here is something that we hope is going to do just that for you. Okay. We're going to leave you to watch it, and we'll come back afterwards.
All right then.
Hi Nat, I love you to bits. I know I wound you up about your food, but I am worried about you. We've just had a new move, so a new start. I want you to sort this out for yourself, and we can look towards the future.
Everybody knows that you are an amazing cook, and if you could only just taste the food that you were cooking, you would just realise how good you are.
Once you've succeeded, you can come round, you can make a massive meal, you can make as much mess as you want in the kitchen, as long as you sit down and enjoy it with us.
It'd be nice to go out for a meal, make a nice change where we didn't have to order off the children's menu for your meal. And in a month or two, we can go out and enjoy that Italian meal that you've been wanting to enjoy for so long.
Maybe a lot of it's my fault and your dad's fault. Maybe we didn't push you enough. And my main wish for you is that you start to eat healthy. And maybe even one day do become a chef and do own your own bar restaurant. It'd be fantastic. Sorry.
Difficult to watch some of that for you, wasn't it? What really struck home?
Sorry, everyone's saying that they're proud of me and my mum crying. I didn't realise she felt like that at all. She never said she did.
Had you really contemplated the impact of your diet on your ability to become a chef, which seems to be your dream?
I don't think so, no. I think I just assumed if I can cook, then I can be a chef. But it's not all about cooking, is it? It's about being passionate about food and trying food and just everything, really. Being a good cook doesn't make a good chef.
Now, what we need to do is get on with seeing what you do actually eat.
Yeah.
So should we just go and do that?
Yeah.
In case Nat was in any doubt, after hearing from her loved ones, Natalie and Stephen have one last nutritional wake-up call. A barbecue they've prepared, especially with Nat in mind.
So, if you were going to be having a barbecue...
Yeah.
What would you serve?
Sausage.
Sausage, really?
Yeah.
Goodness, how did we guess that? So, OK, so you'd serve sausages?
Yeah.
So would
not
you
like
eat
that,
them?
though. I won't eat them.
Why not?
Because they just look really undercooked. I don't want to eat sausage that's not cooked properly. It'll make me ill.
Right. Lift the lid off that barbecue, if you would, and just pop it on the floor.
Like that, that's my sausage.
In effect, you're eating...
Charcoal.
Nat eats over 2,000 charcoal sausages in a year. Burning them to a crisp is not a good idea. It's thought that overcooking meat may produce harmful chemicals, which could even cause cancer.
The other thing is that you are eating the most inordinate amount of salt.
I put salt on my chips, salt on my sausage, salt on my beans.
So just grab that salt cellar from behind you.
Yeah.
So that is the amount of salt a normal person would eat in a year. You're having 3 times that amount.
Each sausage meal Nat eats is equivalent to approximately 9 bags of ready salted crisps. Hopefully Nat will now see her burnt bangers in a different light.
That's terrible. I can't believe that much salt. That's like a heart attack, and I'm 19.
The revolting revelations don't end there. Over a third of the so-called meat in her sausages is fat, and Nat always cooks them in oil.
In the course of a year, you consume about 37 litres of oil, which would fill this paddling pool.
That's horrible. I must be unhealthy.
You still look in shock, but do I take it now that you're ready to give up the burnt bangers?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
You've got a few weeks to work with us. What is it you'd like to achieve at the end of that time?
To go back to Manchester and cook a like Sunday roast, a beef dinner or something, and eat it with all my friends and family.
Well, we will certainly do all we can to work with you towards that goal. And if you're motivated, then that's half the battle.
Oh, I am. Can't wait.
Nat is fantastically enthusiastic, which is a great place to start. But actually, changing her diet from where it is to where she wants to get to is going to be a lot tougher than I think she realises, because she is pretty much addicted to salty, burnt foods.
Nat now has just 1 month to overcome her unusual eating habits.
I never in a million years thought I was having that much salt. It made me think about if I did end up not doing it and failing at the end, which is not an option really, but if it did happen, how upset I'd be and how upset everyone else would be if I didn't do it. I feel like I'd let them all down if I did that, so I'm not going to.
Aside from tackling a new diet, Nat also has a new home to settle into.
There's a spider.
And there's nothing like unpacking boxes to spark off a spot of nostalgia.
Got my old school reports here. They're not very good. All D's and 1E. I didn't really like school. When I first went to college, I went to do catering and hospitality, and that's when I wanted to be a chef, but the tutor who was teaching me at the time just said I basically couldn't, no one had employed me because I'm not passionate enough about food, because I don't eat the food that I cook. It was a bit gutting, really, because it was just like someone sort of saying you get rid of your dreams because you're not going to do it. But I just thought I'd just get another job. I just went out and got a full-time 9-to-5 job rather than stay at college, because I didn't want to do anything else at college. But I'd like to go back and do catering and hospitality. I've got like the urge again now to do it and go back to college and do it, so nothing's going to stop me this time.
Today's the day that Nat's been dreading. It's her first session with nutritionist Natalie. If Nat's ever to become a chef, she's going to have to start eating new foods, and soon.
I need to find out what Nat's food habits really are. Is it that she's absolutely addicted to the salt and the texture of these specific branded foods that she eats? Or is it that she's stuck in a really rigid rut and is afraid to go out of that? What's going through your head looking at all of this?
Panic. It's making me shake and sweat. It's just all new. I've never tried any of it before.
So how about we start with some fruit, because you're probably more likely to like that because of the sweetness. You've had the flavours before.
Yeah. Do I have to eat all of that? I'll just take a bite.
Do you know what? You don't have to do anything, but I'd really like you to. Not that that helps.
See, I like the flavour of it. I like lick it off my fingers because it's really nice.
Just put it in your mouth.
I will do.
You'll like it. What is it?
Mushy.
Mushier than mashed potato?
Mashed potato's nicer.
I don't think it's so much it's nicer, it's just not what you're used to yet. It's all right, you're doing great.
Ugh, it's gone.
You've just eaten a mouthful of strawberry for the first time in your 19-year life. You know that means you have to try something else.
I know.
Next, banana.
That looks horrid.
How about a piece of banana and a piece of strawberry on the same fork?
It looks slimy and mushy and cold and horrid.
You eat baked beans, which are slimy. You eat mashed potato, which is mushy. So don't give me that.
The only food that Nat currently eats that count towards her 5 a day are baked beans. They are a good source of potassium, which is needed for regulating blood pressure. They can be high in sugar and salt. An alternative would be a banana, which packs 450 milligrams, or a jacket spud, which has a whopping 750.
Oh, completely out.
You got some tissue there if you need it.
I could taste the banana straight away. Ugh.
Nat goes on to try vegetables, fruit, chicken, quiche and pasta. But none of these new and healthy foods seem to be tickling her taste buds.
That's got a funny taste.
Everything's got a funny taste to you. What are you like? You could see by Nat's reactions to the foods that she really, really is terrified of trying new foods. She was getting clammy palms, she was really anxious. She's got serious food phobias to overcome.
Natalie's determined Nat doesn't revert back to her beloved sausages and has a plan she hopes will put her off for life to show her what they're made of.
Here, I have what goes into a high-quality sausage. A good portion of lean meat, a little bit of rusk, some seasoning, so a bit of salt and pepper, and some herbs. This is more like what goes into the sort of sausage that you're eating. So a little bit of meat, a lot of fat.
Nearly more fat than there is meat. And the rusk as well. That's like half the sausage. Got the difference in salt as well.
Yeah. Masses of salt.
Yeah.
And the chances of the bits of pig going into your sausage looking like a chunk of meat are quite small.
You're going to show me what it looks like, aren't you?
You're going to show yourself.
That's horrible. Oh, I don't like things like that. I never thought of I'm actually eating a pig, but looking at it like that, seeing its little nose and ears, it makes you think it's horrible. It's that nose, the snout.
I'm not at all surprised that Nat was horrified to think that her sausages come from a dead pig, because we're so disconnected these days from the source of our food. But what I'm also hoping she'll take away from today is that she has to try and try and try again with all of these foods, and I really think she got that.
To help Nat get started, Natalie has sent her home with a hamper of healthy homework tasks, which she'll have to carry out every day. The first task in the hamper calls for Nat to banish the bangers from her cupboard, and with them all the highly processed foods she lives off. She's not best pleased.
What a waste of food. People are starving in Africa.
Not on that, they're not.
Bin. Milky Way. That's like sacrilege.
How can you say it's sacrilege when you've seen pig's ears and noses on it?
It doesn't look like pig's ears and noses. What about chips? Am I allowed chips if I cook them in the oven?
I thought you were getting rid of rubbish. Smash, bin. No,
Instant
that
gravy.
can't.
You're not having that anymore. Quite liberating. I'm still going to starve for the next couple of days, though.
It's easier if someone's with you and encouraging you to try new foods. It's different when you're sat on your own and you've got a plate full of completely different foods that you've not seen before or not tasted before, and you've got to actually push yourself to do it. It's going to be very strange.
Today, Nat has her first session with clinical psychologist Stephen Browse. It's a chance for him to probe Nat's childhood for the origins of her food phobias.
So, Natalie, when did these problems begin for you? What's your earliest memory?
I don't remember one specific moment. My first memory was eating like I have done just all the time. We didn't really sit down at a table for meal times. It was more like sit and eat it on your lap. And I can honestly remember having my tea put in front of me on the table and just eating it. And it was always something that I wanted. So they never put something on that I didn't want and made me sit there till I was eating it.
Were they worried at all about the implications of your diet?
We never really talked about it a lot as a family. It was just one of them things like, Nat eats like she does, so just leave it.
What's the blackened sausages about?
I think it's because it's meat. I've got to know it's cooked inside and outside and just cooked all the way through.
In case?
Just in case I get ill, but I've never had any... I don't know anyone who's had food poisoning. No, I've never had food poisoning myself, so I don't know where that comes from.
Are there other things for you that make you anxious?
There's so much. I panic over the slightest thing. I'm really claustrophobic, so I can't go on the tube or in a lift. I don't like flying, and I'm really not keen on boats because I don't want to fall off and drown. I've been like that from being... Apparently I used to be like always clinging on to my mum and dad when I was younger, and I get the same feeling of when I'm going to try food.
But part of you that feels obviously quite unsafe a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You've given me a lot of information. There still seem to be some pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that are missing, and they seem to be kind of lost in those early childhood experiences. Her eating problems are not really just a standalone problem, but they're part of a general package of anxieties that includes all sorts of things, and which seem to stem back a very long way, right back into early childhood. But clearly she was a child who was anxious, and that is continuing to affect her.
Next homework task is to buy fresh and healthy alternatives to her old diet. But none of the items on her shopping list look remotely appetising.
It's like the pork chop, it looks like an ear or something, and that looks like a tongue. I know it's not, but it looks like it. See, that doesn't look like a chicken. Oh, that's turkey anyway. See, now I want sausage. See, mine do look artificial and full of rubbish, but they just look more edible than them.
Nat may dream of becoming a chef, but her food phobia means her knowledge of food is almost as limited as her diet.
I have put spinach on my list, but I don't know what cottage, I can't even read it, whatever that is, slices. I don't want to waste it. And it's also an excuse. You can see its teeth, it's like eating an animal, that. And I don't understand how vegetarians can eat fish, because that's like cannibalism. It's going to be interesting. If I don't like it, then I'm going to be hungry. The shopping for it's easy, it's the trying it that's going to be the difficult bit.
While Nat's out shopping for new food, Natalie wants Darren and her family to have a taste of her old diet to help them understand what she's been going through all these years.
There's one thing I'd like you to do, and that is to eat her terrible diet for 3 days.
I don't have to eat it burnt like she has it though, do I?
No, you don't have to have it really, really burnt, but just the terrible sausages and the instant mash. I know you're living away from her family now, but if you could relay that request to her family.
Right, OK. I don't think anyone will want to do it, but if it helps, then yeah, fine. I'm sure they'll agree.
The next day, the family embark on a 72-hour sausage fest. Accompanied by Nat's favourite side dish of instant mash.
I like sausages and mash every now and again, not every day.
It just looks like glue. You could plaster a wall with this.
That instant mash isn't that bad. But I don't like sausages anyway.
The sausages are nice, I mean, I must admit.
It's got no taste at all. Really tasteless.
Darren throws in the towel after the first meal, and even Mum and Dad have called time.
And I can guarantee this will be the last time ever that I eat it.
Oh, honestly, it's making me feel quite fed up. I feel tired and sluggish and really fed up, you know, like a feeling of, oh God, not that again.
No, sorry, that's all I can eat now. Yeah, Rock, enjoy.
Back at home, Nat's sitting down to a sausage-free meal of fruit and veg. Blueberries go down a treat, but she calls in her chief taster for the avocado.
Just try it and tell me what it tastes like, because I don't know, because I don't know what things taste like. And don't say avocado. You like that cocky.
I don't really taste of anything much.
Oh, rank.
What's up there? What's up? Do you want a drink?
Yeah.
Well, don't carry on eating it if it's making you sick.
think it's because I didn't. It was rank. Stop laughing. I don't know how to explain it, but it really wasn't nice at all. I'm all flustered.
Natalie has asked Nat to try 3 new foods a day. Next on the list is tomato.
I don't like tomatoes like that.
I'm just a bit fed up because I'm sick of being hungry, always hungry, and I'm sick of trying new food. I just want to eat a sausage roll or a packet of crisps or a hot dog or something. And I know I shouldn't and I haven't done, but I'm just fed up.
It's only 1 week in and Nat's already on the verge of quitting. It's time for Natalie to call in reinforcements. Dr. Pixie McKenna is a GP with a special interest in eating problems. She's analysed Nat's blood tests and today she's going to reveal the findings.
So Nat, we've had all your blood test results back. Yep. I'm intrigued to know how you feel on a day-to-day basis, you know, generally, health-wise.
I'm always tired, my bones ache, I click, and I'll click at 19. I'm like sat there, my ankle will click or my thumb will click, and it's just, my bones are aching all the time.
You're 19, but you've got the complaints of someone of 99.
Yes, unfortunately.
I mean, those symptoms don't surprise me, actually, because looking at your blood and looking at your diet, you're taking in ridiculously high amounts of salt. And what that's doing is it's drawing in extra water into the system.
Excess salt in the body needs water to dilute it, and this leads to water being drawn away from the cells where it's needed and diverted into the surrounding tissues in places like the ankles, hands and face, causing swelling. Reducing her salt intake and drinking more water will help regulate the salt levels in Nat's system, allowing her body to function in a healthier way. If Nat doesn't change her ways, she's risking an assortment of health problems.
And you think of all the salt you take in your diet, you're in big, big trouble. And stroke, heart attack, kidney problems.
So Nat, what Pixie's telling you there, what's going through your mind with all of that?
It's frightening to think, just like a couple of years down the line, what could happen.
But Dr. Pixie's concerns don't end there.
Now Nat, I've worked out that all this fat in your diet, once you're your mum's age, you're going to have put on a significant amount of weight. So I just want to give you an idea of what you might look like physically. I brought along this, all right? So what I'd like you to do is go and put this on and give yourself a taste of the future.
Nat,
Nat,
are you ready?
Come on out.
Natalie and Dr. Pixie have worked out that if she continues with her sausage diet, at the time Nat is 40, she will have put on over 5 stone in weight.
How does this feel?
Very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, because you can't see your feet. It's not the look I'm going for.
It's the look you're going to get, love.
If I carry on like I am.
Natalie and Dr. Pixie attach blood pressure bands to help Nat experience the swelling she'll get as a result of her massive salt intake.
How are you feeling, Nat?
Very uncomfortable.
And walking is even harder.
It really is uncomfortable.
You're like wobbling.
Yeah, it's like waddling. It's like being pregnant. It just really is uncomfortable.
So are you kind of thinking in your mind, ooh, sausages?
Sausages are bad.
Bad.
Bad. Terrible. I don't ever want to walk like this, feel like this.
If I wasn't already convinced, which I was, it's just convinced me even more to do that I've got to do it. It's just completely and utterly, I've got to change now. I'd rather do it sooner now. Just, I can't carry on eating like I do, because I can't feel like this, I'd hate it.
The following day, the experts meet up to discuss Nat's progress.
I think the thing that struck me when I met Nat is just how generally anxious she is. Her anxiety isn't just about food, it's about a whole load of different things and different situations. And I really want to know sort of why she is so anxious and what's made her this way.
It's very odd that Nat has this real curiosity in food and wants to be a chef, yet she doesn't seem to have any idea of where food comes from, what it is, and she doesn't really eat very many foods. So there's something that doesn't add up.
Unfortunately, of course, she has virtually no memories at all about her childhood. So I think I'm going to have to go and talk to Mum and Dad and see whether they can fill in some of the missing pieces of the picture, really.
No one knows where Nat's bizarre eating problems and food phobias stem from. It's something that's baffled her parents for years.
I've always worried about it. I just thought it was something she would grow out of. And when she went to like a secondary school, because they can sort of choose their own meals, I used to think, oh, well, maybe this will be the time that she'll see other kids eating things and she'll want to try different things. But I was wrong, because it was hot dogs and chips. I think that's what she had every day at dinner. She's a mystery to me. She is, honestly.
In an attempt to speed up Nat's progress, Stephen's arranged for the family to use an art room for the day. Not to get in touch with her inner Picasso, but to help understand Nat's relationship with food and where her anxieties stem from.
I've got a little exercise to help everybody along today, because of course it may not just be Nat for whom the past is a little bit cloudy and murky. What I'm going to do is get Nat and her parents to represent some aspects of the past in a visual form by drawing, and hopefully this will enable all of them perhaps to see some of these early formative experiences through fresh eyes. I want each of you to draw something, and you can use words, you can use images, you can do it however you want to do it, but something that captures your feelings and your thoughts about family meal times when Nat was small. Your words, anything that really just comes into your head, just let yourself play with it, really. What have we got here? We've got frustrated, upset, angry, upset, left out. In your picture, Karen, we've got boring, tense, quick, fast, rush.
At this age, I more or less just put in front of her what she wanted, so that she would eat it, and then we could get to dancing, or she could go out and play.
Basically, we stick to what you know, because we knew he was going to get it. He was going to get it pretty quickly, and we could be in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's not much of a sense of you coming together to enjoy meals as a family.
On a Sunday, we would all sit down together and have like a traditional Sunday dinner. We did have veg, didn't we? But we just didn't eat it. We'd throw it away after.
Hold on.
Really weird.
What's that one about then?
I didn't eat any veg at all.
You didn't eat any veg at all during this period?
None at all, no.
So you see them not eating veg and not eating things, so I think, well, if they're not, why should I?
Right.
It's just one of them things. I've never liked it. I've tried it. Don't like it. I won't eat it.
Okay.
I don't think we were very good role models for her. I really don't. We weren't, were we?
No.
The next thing I'd like you to do, but I'd like you to think about key events in Natalie's early life. When she was growing up, you know, people were allowed to choose what they did and didn't like. Food even appeared on the plate and was then ceremoniously kind of dispatched into the bin. You know, it's quite extraordinary. You've got a hospital bed there.
He's got hospital as well.
That's the hospital as well, is it?
She went in 3 times, didn't she, over the year?
Yeah.
And it was with bronchial pneumonia.
What was it like for you as parents to have your new baby and suddenly having these hospital admissions
It
the
was
whole
horrible.
time?
She had all sorts of tests done, didn't she? She had a sweat test.
He tested her for cystic fibrosis. I had a friend who died with cystic fibrosis, and watching what she went through, having the mum cook her special diets, well, liquid on the cooker and things like that, it was just horrible. It changed my attitude to think, well, if she's going to have to go through life having special diets and things like that, for the time being, just let her eat what she wants, let her enjoy as much as food as possible.
Despite being given the all clear for cystic fibrosis, this anxious time had already had a huge impact on Mum and Dad.
But it was really, really worrying at the time. And I think when she came out, we wrapped her up in cotton wool, really.
So basically it's just balloon from there, what Nat wants. Yeah. Nat could have.
When you think about it, you forget all these things, don't you? You do forget all these things.
That's why we're here and why we're doing this. The fact that Nat grew up within this atmosphere of anxiety, she's bound to have absorbed some of that. I think that some of Nat's current anxiety problems probably do stem back to some of those early experiences, and not only the way she responded to them, but also the way that people around her responded to them.
Stephen's session has enabled Nat's parents to give her much-needed answers.
When they said it could be cystic fibrosis, it just stuck in my mind that it's practically, at them times, it was a death sentence.
God, we used to cry, didn't we? I was crying outside all the time.
I never knew quite how bad it was. I never knew that you thought I was going to die.
For me, I'd blocked it out of my mind anyway.
Yeah.
But like today with Stephen and what have you, and just talking about it brings it back. But it's still no excuse for the way we treated you.
No, you sound like we treated you.
No, like the way you treated me too good.
We wrapped you up in cotton wool, basically, because you were poorly.
Yeah, it's been like eye-opening. Because now I know a lot more than what I knew before.
You can see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Yeah.
But you've just got to stick with it.
A nice philosophy.
Now Nat understands more about her past and what's been holding her back. Natalie wants to get her excited about the fresh food that's been missing from her diet. Every budding chef should know there's more to good grub than the contents of a packet.
I don't think she ever thinks about where food comes from and the fact that it comes from nature. So this is going to be a huge eye-opener for her, and I think that she'll be quite curious, probably a little baffled, but ultimately inspired by it all.
What I want is for you to really get in touch with what food is, where it comes from, not walk into a supermarket and just have packages and stuff. If you want to be a chef, this is what you need to know about.
Yeah. I didn't know beetroot grew in the ground.
You inspired?
I am. Doesn't look quite like it does in the tin. But,
this is the thing, tin,
tin. That's all I've had though. I've never ever been to anywhere like this in my life.
These are all runner beans.
You just wouldn't think, because how strange.
It's amazing but true.
Yeah.
Oh!
Berries. Oh, that's strange.
Pick that one there, look. Just twist it gently.
Is that okay to eat, yeah?
The whole thing? Come on.
I don't like that.
2 or 3 weeks ago, you would have gagged on that, and just now, okay, it wasn't great.
Yeah,
but you swallowed it, and that's what the aim of all of this is.
Mm.
You're not going to suddenly eat new things and go, yum. You know, so I want you to keep that practice up. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. Have you ever actually picked a strawberry?
No.
Have you ever seen a strawberry plant before?
No, never.
Okay, so why don't you pick this yourself? And I'll have one too.
That looks lovely, that. Really fresh. Let's try it. Oh. That's lovely. That's gorgeous.
Nice one.
After her crash course in fruit and veg, Natalie thinks it's time to try out a solution to Nat's hatred of raw tomatoes.
Well, you're in luck. I just so happen to have here a really fabulous tomato sauce here. Made from fresh tomatoes. So give that a go.
That's not too bad, that's actually quite nice. It
Woohoo.
does taste like barbecue.
So that is a no-no. And that.
I have to keep trying it, but I'd not just get used to it, I'd probably start liking it. I did enjoy myself so much there. It was just nice to see everything, like, again, like, fresh and growing. It's like connecting with your food again, because you actually know where it's coming from, and you know that it's not got all additives and rubbish added in it. It's just completely from the ground. I actually liked the strawberries. They were just so juicy and nice, and again, I've got expensive taste, so I have to go there every time I want my strawberries. I can't do no supermarket muck.
After the breakthrough at the allotment, Nat spends the next few days trying an assortment of fresh fruit and veg. Encouraged by her progress, and now with enough proper ingredients under her belt, Natalie has asked budding chef Nat to create a dish and eat as much of it as possible.
I want to pick something that's really, really nice that I want to try myself. That looks nice. Succulent meat peppery salad. Creamy courgette lasagna. Oh, but that is nice.
On the menu today is feta and spinach stuffed chicken with a side of ratatouille. And Nat's anxieties about eating undercooked meat seem to have disappeared.
I think I've got over the fact that things are undercooked and not cooked. That's one thing, one hurdle that I passed. It looks fairly tasty. I'll give it a go, see if I like it.
If Nat can manage this meal, she's well on the way to enjoying her roast dinner with family and friends in a week's time.
Let's try this. This is a bit that I'm not looking forward to at all. I feel sick. I'd rather have anything than this, just... I don't know. I'm not going to say sausage because I don't want sausage. I don't want what I used to want, I just don't want new stuff. It's just so frustrating because I've cooked it and I'm on such a high when I'm cooking, and when I see it all cooking and smell it because it smells gorgeous. And then it's like, bang, straight back down to earth. If you don't like it, surprise. But it's just, I get so frustrated with myself. Just because I think, how stupid is it not to be able to eat something? It's not hard. But I struggle to swallow, I start to gag, and it's like going back 3 weeks.
But Nat's only got days before her final challenge. Despite all her progress, this latest setback has been a blow to Nat's confidence. It's up to Stephen and Natalie to come up with a solution.
The thing is, she's really, really determined. She really wants to succeed. She wants to be eating a full range of food. She wants to reach her goal. But there's a massive gap between what she wants to do and what she's actually able to do.
I think the real breakthrough for me was learning just how ill Nat had been when she was a baby, and the impact that this had, on her folks. I think it made them incredibly sort of, understandably, but overprotective of her. The result of this is that Nat really isn't very good at coping with anxiety. And I think she needs to discover or develop in herself the confidence to actually face her fears, and overcome them and tolerate them if she's really to kind of get anywhere with this at all.
The final challenge is looming on the horizon, but unless Nat can learn to overcome her anxiety, it'll be anything but plain sailing.
Well, I'm concerned that Nat's still facing a lot of pressure from this final challenge she's got coming up. So today, I want to try and help Nat learn how to cope with her fears, and that starts with facing them. Do you want to know what we are going to be doing today?
Please.
We want to put you through something today so that you have an experience of coping with an anxiety-provoking situation, so that when it comes to this final challenge, you've already got an experience of having overcome one situation, which is likely to make you a little bit nervous.
Okay.
When we first met, you told me that one of your fears was going out on a boat on the open sea, all right? I think if you can do this, all right, there's not a lot that you can't do, frankly. You're right. The thing about situations that make us anxious, as with your food, it's like we all tend to avoid them, and our fears about them are much worse, usually, than the actual experience of doing them. And I do promise you, we will keep you safe.
Okay.
All right?
picked a lovely day for it. I'm Alan, how'd you do?
Hi, this is Nat.
Jump on board.
And can I ask you, how easy would it be to capsize this boat?
This, for all intents and purposes, impossible. You just wouldn't happen.
Are you listening to this, taking this in?
Can't we?
Stephen wants to show Nat that if she confronts her anxieties head-on, she'll quickly discover that she's strong enough to overcome them. But being on a boat is a world away from trying a tomato, and Nat's desperate for reassurance.
It's quite safe, but the boat will both rock and roll from side to side and a little bit backwards and fronts as well.
So would you have to be holding on tight, not to...
I would recommend that you held on just to make yourself feel more stable.
So even though we're going to wobble about, I can't even speak, wobble a lot, it's safe though, isn't it? It's not going to...
Yeah.
Part of your brain will interpret the movement as being a sign of something bad, all right? And it's really important for you to keep the adult bit of your head engaged and to say, you know, I knew this was going to be like this. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. How high is the anxiety level at the moment?
10.
10. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Me? No, it doesn't bother me. Would you like to turn around?
Wrong question. I'm sure you'd like to. Can you cope? Can you cope with being here? Because if you can stick it out, Nat, the more used to it you get, the less anxiety-provoking it's going to be, which is why Alan presumably is sitting here calm as a cucumber, because he's done it a few old times. You okay? Doing fine. The boat hasn't let you down so far, has it?
I'm just getting really scared.
Getting scared, okay. There you are, well done.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
You've done it.
That was brilliant.
And it was pretty choppy out there, wasn't it? Choppier than I thought it was going to be. But my goodness, if you can do that, that's fantastic. And I know you got scared out there, but you didn't fall apart and you haven't died. When it comes to that roast dinner, how does that feel on the scale of difficulty?
I'll have one now.
Dry land?
Yes, please.
Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you
It's
so
nice to
much.
meet you.
Nat has ridden out the storm and lived to tell the tale.
I've conquered like one of my worst fears. I've probably feared water and boats more than I feared food. That's probably been one of the worst situations that I've been in my life. It sounds a bit dramatic, but it probably is, because I've never really pushed myself.
If you kind of sit down with your family and get through that roast dinner, okay,
Yeah.
it's going to be that same sense of achievement, all right?
There'll be no stopping me.
I don't think there will, actually.
Feeling unstoppable, Nat's boycotting processed supermarket food and buying her ingredients for her final challenge, fresh from the farmer's market.
I've learned a lot about food since starting the whole process. 4 weeks ago, there was no way I'd even come to a place like this, never mind try things off each stall, and it's just really nice to know where it's from, rather than going to a supermarket and just getting it out of a packet.
Nat's decided to put cauliflower on the menu, and there's a certain member of her family who won't be happy.
I don't know what my dad's going to do, but like I said before, he's going to eat it, because I'm making it. I'm going to force him to eat it.
Do you like it?
No, he doesn't like cauliflower at all, but it's tough. Thank you. Thank you, bye.
The big day is here, and there's one last surprise for Nat. Natalie has arranged for her to cook her roast in a professional kitchen.
Ta-da! This is your kitchen for the day. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll be checking on you.
Thank you very much.
How's Nat doing?
I think she's quietly confident that she's going to succeed. Probably pretty stressed out, actually, in the kitchen at the moment, though.
she is very determined, but she also gets really anxious when she's under pressure. And of course, today she has the added stress of all her relatives being around as well, watching her.
People looking at me, one thing that's putting me off a bit, because got like 9 of my whole friends and family just there watching me. The feeling that I had when I got off the boat was fantastic, so, and it's going to be very similar, if not the same feeling, once I've finished eating the roast dinner. But it looks really nice. It's all browned off. It's not burnt, but it's brown. If they say they don't like my food, they're going to be wearing it. Especially my dad. He doesn't eat his veg. I tell you.
I've not told Nat, but if she tries it, I'll try it. But I'm going to have a bucket by the side of me. But yeah, I'll try it. I'm just petrified that she'll look at it and she'll say no, she can't do it, and walk away from the table. So I don't think she will, but that's me inner thoughts.
Today, there will be a sense of relief, definitely. I think me and Terry both will feel like part of the guilt's been taken away. Because it's not nice feeling that it's your fault that this is the way your daughter eats.
Lovely, dead crispy but fluffy. Oh. My cauliflower and broccoli.
The thing is though, if we don't eat this veg today, then we've got to eat sausage and smash for the next week.
Definitely eat the veg.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention just for a minute. I believe that chef is nearly ready for you, so if you'd like to go and take your seats, dinner will shortly be served. And I hope you're all hungry.
Very nice.
Why is no one else eating? Why aren't you eating? Please don't watch me, just eat, please.
You can't watch someone eat.
No, I know, it's like everyone's staring at me.
Oh, these roasters are gorgeous. You'll have to do these for me.
It's an achievement for me not to burn it. Beef's nice, isn't it?
That beef is gorgeous. I can't believe that you've actually ate roast beef.
No, can I?
It's not a sausage.
True, it's not a sausage.
So what are you trying now?
Broccoli.
Well, the broccoli, I mean, the stems on that, it's quite nice. I would never imagine eating it. The only reason I've ate it is because you cooked it.
I'm not really enjoying it, but I'll eat it. I don't like the broccoli.
Right, well, leave the broccoli.
I'm not leaving any of it, I'm eating it.
No, what I mean is for now, and eat some more of the stuff that you do like, and then get a bit more gravy and try it again. Yeah? Don't overface yourself, honestly.
I'm absolutely full. I'm fed up and full. I really am quite disappointed.
Why?
The whole point was for me to clear my plate.
No,
1 minute.
When have you ate a meal like that?
Never.
Well, yeah, you're eating it now. So it's a success.
I honestly thought that my plate would be clear.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, you enjoyed yours, Darren.
So how's it going, Nat?
I feel like I failed. I had in my head that I'm going to clear my plate.
Yeah, but Nat...
It's not had the right... It's not like... It looks like I've done nothing.
Can I just check with everybody else here? Is your perception that Nat has failed today?
These are things that you've never eaten. So stop being so down on yourself. It's a big achievement. And I'm really proud of you. And I think everyone else is, aren't they? Your plate was bigger than any of us put together.
Yeah, your eyes were bigger than your stomach or something. And, you know, we really don't want you putting yourself down, and I'm pretty sure that no one at this table wants you putting yourself down.
You honestly should be proud of yourself. Well, I think what we've learned about Nat today is that there is a strong perfectionist streak in her. And, you know, I really hope that she doesn't lose sight of the progress that she has made.
You know, this is someone who was really, really, really frightened and anxious around alien foods. And she sat down under immense pressure and pulled it off.
months on, and Nat's old eating habits are a distant memory.
I don't eat any sausage now, to be honest. I don't eat good sausage, I don't eat bad sausage, I just don't eat sausage.
She's pursuing her dream to become a chef.
I've been doing a bit of work experience in the pub across the road, and we made moussaka, and that went on the menu and everyone absolutely loved it. It's all a learning curve, but I love it, it's great.
And meals out with Darren are now a regular event.
It feels like I'm starting my new life now, because one of my goals was to go out with Darren for a meal, and we can do that now without being embarrassed, and it's a nice feeling. It's like we're a proper couple now. I learned how to prepare food, I've learned how to cook it, and now I've learned how to eat it.
Click on screen for more videos of extraordinary humans.